I'm Cassie, temping for Chelsea. Good thing our names sound so similar. They both start with C's, so you guys, there isn't that big of a drastic. Anyways, and it's Thursday, as I'm sure you know by now that it's Thursday. Anyways, I'm also sure you know by now what our topics are this week, so I'm not even going to repeat the questions. Well, I will, but not in the same fashion. Anyways, okay. First question, how you met your first girlfriend. I had to think about this one a lot because it is basically a really confusing, like, ridiculous story. Um, Ultimately, I met her because of school, my first girlfriend. Uh, but there was a lot of confusing stuff. Like, there wasn't really a singular moment in time when I, like, first met her. I always knew who she was because she stood out. And I always thought she was, like, really, really attractive. And every time I saw her, I was just like, I feel like I need to meet this girl. And I saw her all the time. Like, I'm not kidding. I saw her everywhere, but never at school. I would just see her around town, and it would be weird to approach her not in a school setting, like, hey, I see you all the time. So I never did. And then, she actually came and talked to me at the sock hop we had at the beginning of the year, and I actually didn't talk to her then because I was having a really bad day and I didn't want to talk to anyone really. I was kind of forcing myself to go, and I was angry because of a lot of different things. And so, just some little advice right here. Um, if you go to a dance and a hot girl that you are interested in starts talking to you, even if you've had a really bad day, just like shut up and talk to her because she could be your first girlfriend and you might get some ass. Even though I never actually did. Anyways, so then after that, she wound up having English class with the person who directed the plays I was in and also was my mentor for this big project all the seniors at our school have to do called Senior Project. And so I ran into her there and started talking to her, and after that I gave her my number by giving her this sheet of paper with my number at the bottom. And then she called me and was like, oh my god, I can't believe it, blah 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 blah. And I have to tell you, I actually found out she was bisexual. It's gonna be awkward and embarrassing if she ever watches this video, but I found out she was bisexual because um, just for shits and giggles, I went on to Match.com and put in my area code, and she had a little profile there, and I was like, no way, I was right, my vibe was right. But anyways, um, so the other topic, what's a good place to meet gay people? If you have like LGBT clubs and stuff like that, obviously that's a good place. Any sort of gay themed place. I wouldn't really suggest clubs if you're of that age unless you're just plain into clubbing. Because, like, for instance, I'm not into any sort of clubbing thing, and I would never meet someone there that I was interested in because if they're going to a club, we would most likely have different, uh, like, likes and dislikes and stuff like that. Hobbies was the word I was trying to find. Um, Mainly, my main advice for that, if you want to meet gay people, go out and meet people, just people in general. And because and not just girls either. Don't just talk to girls in hopes that you're gonna find a gay one, or only talk to guys if you're a boy, whatever. um Go meet people, because the more people you know, the chances of them having a gay sister or a cousin or an uncle, or maybe not an uncle because then they'd probably be older, but I mean, you know what I mean, a friend or family member, co-worker, anything like that that they could introduce you to, that's going to be risen, and you'll get a lot of other friends along the way. And so I think just meeting people in general is the best way to go, and get more involved in all kinds of activities that you're interested in, because the more things you're involved with and the more people you're involved with, like I said, the more chance there's that they're going to be gay people there, and you'll have a better opportunity with them because they'll have similar interests as you. So that's a good place to go. The other question, most awkward kiss with a girl. I don't even have to think about this one. I didn't have any awkward kisses with my first girlfriend. I mean, there were probably a couple that were like awkward, but I don't even remember them, so they obviously weren't that awkward. Um, the person, well, I've only kissed two people, so if they're watching this video, I'm sure they already know who they are. But anyways, um, my second girlfriend, who was also my most current because I only had two, uh, we were kind of like contemplating like dating sort of for a while, and we were kind of batting around the idea, and there kept being places where like we would want it to happen and you could tell, but it just never happened because we were both like too embarrassed to initiate it or something. And I remember one day I was at our house and then I was driving home and I was kind of pissed because I'm so shy about stuff like that, and so I sent her this text message trying to be cute because I was leaving for San Francisco the next morning to stay with a friend and go to Pride. I sent her this text message that was like, oh shoot, I forgot to kiss goodnight. Could I pick it up in the morning on my way out of town? Just like, and then to make it super awkward, her friend, who was also her ex-girlfriend, took the phone from her because she wasn't doing anything and was like, actually, you should just come back right now. And I was kind of like, uh, this is gonna be awkward, I can tell. And so I did. I went back and we stood outside for like 15 minutes and nothing happened during that whole 15 minutes. And then eventually, like, it happened, and it was the most awkward experience of my life because I don't have very many awkward experiences, but that one, ugh, it was awkward. It was so awkward. Like, ultimately, it needed to happen eventually. It might as well, it was going to be awkward no matter when it happened. It might as well have happened then and been as painfully awkward as it was, because sometimes it's just going to be. So, you know, uh, it was bad though. But don't be super embarrassed about awkward kisses because it's just a kiss. And if someone is like not gonna like you because you're an awkward kisser or a kiss was awkward, then they're not worth your time, really. Someone who cares about you should stick with you and help you through awkward phases and blah blah blah. Anyways, you guys should video response with that one though, because I want to hear about most awkward kisses because that's funny to me. It was funny to think about mine and be like, oh, that was painful. So, yes, video responses, video response! Post them, send them in to this video, this one, or any other ones. I don't really care, just this one in particular because it's kind of mine, even though I'm borrowing the day. Right, so, response.